Now today, we are now going to concentrate on doing this semi-trailer. It's a 1/14 scale and it's going to go on the back of my Scania R620 truck that I've just completed. We need to make 4 of these, using all these components, BB1s, which are the 3x12mm self-tapping, the 3x10mm self-tapping, so there's 8 of each of those, and the small ones, which are from bag C, and they're 2x4mm machine screws. Plastic parts, X6s and X2s, and just note that there is an A on there and a B on there, and our X8 parts. So I shall build it up. So finishing off on step 1, after we've done 4 each of these B and A posts, which go into these small here. So 2 have the X8 part and 2 don't have the X8 part, and the only thing you need to make sure is you get the B posts and the A posts on the right way round. So in other words, A on the right hand side and B on the left hand side on both sets. So that's those. We can now move on to step 2. And step 2 is quite simple. Take the 3x12mm self-tapping screw, making sure the plate is in the right way, so the larger hole at the front, and the 2 lining holes here and here, as per the drawing, which is those 2 there, and then you just screw the ends in. So there we have it, the ends screwed there and screwed there. Done. Right, we are now on step 3, and for step 3 we're going to need the left, if I can come out a bit, and right rails. We're going to need these X5 parts, 3 of those, and we need 6 of the BA4s, machine screws, 3x10s, and the BA6s, we need 6 of those, which are the flange nuts, and we need to install those onto our base that we made, and we need to make sure that these are in the right position. So you can see here on the drawing that matches up with those over there. So, and we're underneath the little hole here, the hole this side. So there we are. Need to get that all screwed into place. And there we go. That's step 3 completed. The rail attached as per the drawing. On to step 4. Okay, we are now on step 4, and step 4 is a busy step. We've got our parts that we need from our various screw bags. So that's from screw bag A, we need a BA6, which is a flange nut, and we need these BA7s, which are the 3x14mm shafts. We need from our bag B, we need a 3x23mm machine screw that is a countersunk screw. We need from bag C 6 of BC1s, which are 2x6mm, and we need 6 again of BC3s, which are 2x8mm, and we need 2 of these BC4s, which are 2x8mm, and they're the cap head screw. From the mount bag, we need a kingpin. We need it from the spring bag, we need the hold springs, we need 2 of those. We also need from the spring bag the return springs. We need a coupler plate as well. And we need from the parts tree B, we need our B8s and our B5s, which are these, 2 of those. We need our B3s, 2 of those, and our B9s, 2 of those. And busy step putting all this together. So think of it as part A, B, C and D of step 4. So we need to take one of the BC1s, which is one of these little ones here, and we need to screw that into the position, which is here. There we go. And then you just literally screw till it stops, because it's just going to stop because it won't go all the way through. And then we need to take our BA part, and we need to take our spring, and we're going to need our shaft. So we're going to need to pop the shaft and pop the shaft through the end, pop the spring through there. Now we've got that in place, we need to just bring it back out a little bit so I can use my tweezers to help me with that. And we need to position this through and pop it all the way through. So I'm going to put that into the space. There we go. And then just jiggle it a little bit here and there until you find the hole, and then it pushes all the way through. There we go. That's the shaft all the way through, and bring the spring underneath the screw. So now we have it spring loaded. There we go. We had to make 2 of those, so we've done that. So for the second part of the step 4, we need to pop the spring into place, and we need to bring the spring over the end there. We need to then take one of our B12 pieces, and we need to put that into place over the top of where the spring is, and line it up a little bit where the hole is. Take one of our BC1s, a little 2x6 mils, and collect the hole like so, and then screw that tight. I like to make that flat edge so it's where the spring is. So I'm just going to tighten that down. So I just need to maneuver that in. There we go, nice and straight, and then nip that up. There we are. So now that's in place. We then need to place that inside the B9 part, and then we need to hook that over the top, and again with our B12 piece we need to over the top of the hole like so. Take our BC1 and again straight through, collect the hole, and there we are. Screw that tight as well, and again just make sure the flat is facing, as you're tightening it down, the flat is facing the spring. There we go. So now, there we are. So that's step B of part 4. For the third part of part 4, you take our coupler plate, and you need to just make sure you've got the countersunk facing upwards. We need to take our kingpin, and we need to take our 3x23mm machine screw but countersunk. Goes through the middle of the hole. There we go. And then we need to take our BA6, and we need to, there we go. And because I've got the set, you could use it. Because I've got the set, I'm just going to tighten that kingpin. There we go. So there you are. That's that part of step 4 done. And for the last part of step 4, we take what we built in part A of step 4, the top plate piece and the piece for the legs with the spring. We pop them on top of each other. Then what we do is we need to take some of our BC3s. So we need to pop that there, one there, one there, one there. I'm just going to tighten those down. Like so. That's the 3 of those. As you can see, that's the 3 of them on there. And then the last one is the cap head. And the cap head, believe it or not, that stops the little shaft from coming out. And again, you can use the Allen keys given, but because I've got the set, I'm going to use my Tamiya set. And that goes in place like so. So now you should have step 4 completed. Okay, so we are now on step 5. Now step 5, we need 8 of the BA3 screws, which are these little ones here. So I've got 8 of those. We're going to need 12 of the BA6, the 3mm flange nuts. So there's 12 of those. And we need 4 of the BB4, which are the 3x23mm machine screws, but with a countersunk head. We need 4 of those. We're also going to need C2 and C5. We're also going to need X5s, a couple of those. We're going to need our legs that we built earlier. And we're going to need our coupler plate with our kingpin as well. So now I've got to put these parts here on our trailer bottom. I'll put that in place and I'll come back and show you. And because it's so big, I'm having to sort of show you this way on this particular step, because as you can see, it goes all the way over to there, look. Whoa. Right, so yeah, let's get serious. So we've put the coupler plate and the kingpin, we've put that in place, and we put the legs in place, and you have to make sure that this spring area is over the chassis. So this is what it talks about here. And on the other side, this is the underside, you put the couple of those X5 parts that bolt basically through. So here we are, that's all done. We're now moving on to step 6. So for step 6, need some more parts from our bag. So from bag A, we need our 3x8mm machine screws. From bag B, we need a BB3, which is a 3x8mm self-tapping screw. From the mount bag, we need 3 of these mounts. And from the mount bag, we need a couple of those ball connectors. We also need from the parts tree, we need our C3, which is this one. We need our C6, which is this one. We need our C1, which is this one. We need our C4, which is this one. And we need our C7, which is this one. And we need a couple of B2s, which are these 2 here. So again, breaking down the step 6 into little individual steps. So first of all, we'll do this one here, where we're going to take the C3 part and the C6 part, and we're going to take one of these BM2s, which are the coupler nuts. So that literally slides in there, and we're going to need to put one of the ball connectors at the other end. We're going to put that, I'm just going to put that in my nut spinner. So we're going to pop that in there. There we are. Just round that in, so it's all the way in. We go, and then we take one of the BA5s and we come from underneath it with one of the BA5s, and we're going to collect it and screw that into the BM2 like so. So we're just going to get our screwdriver. There we go. There we go. We'll come back a little bit on the threads. Here we are. So that now screws through, and screw that tight. So now we have our 2 pieces, and then we're going to take the C1 part. So we literally pop that underneath. There's a little area here, So pop that underneath, and then we've got to pop a BB3, which is the self tapper, into the hole there and collect that. There we are. See, now we've got those, and then if we put that to one side, while we do the next one, which is the C4s and the B2s, and you can see I've lined them up so they're the same, again with a couple of these and a couple of these. We're going to pop those into place. So do this one at a time. Just collect the hole at the end, screw goes through the top. Excuse my little fat sausages of my fingers. There we are. And then these come underneath and collect, screw underneath. So there we are. Yeah, like that. A little bit more. So that's that one on that side. And then we do the same again for this one in this side. So again, it's just put underneath, collect screw, one of these. There we are. Catch the threads and screw that through. There we go. That's that one done. There we are. So we've got those two. And then last but not least, we take our last of the ball connector and we pop that in there and making sure it's roughly straight. There we are. And we screw that all the way through until it stops. Okay, there we are. Step 6 completed. Step 7, we need the component parts that we built in step 6, plus we need an X5. We need some of these screws, BA1s, which are the 3x25mm machine head screw, 3x20mm screws. We need the 3mm flange nuts, we need 4 of those. And we need a BB1, which is a 3x12mm self-tapping. You'll see here I've already taken the BT ones, the adjusters, 5mm adjusters, and you can see I've put them on the rod and I've measured the 117mm already. That's done. So now we need to pop these components onto the main chassis. Right, here we go. So first part of step 7 is placing this back piece here. So there you go. And the idea is as it activates the legs like that. Okay. We've now placed the mechanism here for releasing the legs. Done. A very simple step 8. We're going to start putting some bling. So these are what they call them, the fenders. We call them mud guards in the UK. And so you've got these brackets here, which are the L-shaped brackets. The LP4s. You need 4 of those, so 2 on each of the mud guards. And you need these 3x8mm self-tapping screws, which are the BB3s. So yeah, there we are. So going to put some bling on here. That's next. There we are. So step 8 completed. The little brackets on, they call them the fenders, we call them the mud guards. There we are. Step 8 completed. On to step 9. Okay, so we're now on step 9, and step 9 we need 12 of the BA5s, which are the 3x8mm machine screws. We need 12 of the BA6s, which are the 3mm flange nuts. We need a L stay. We need 2 of these L stays. We need these X11 parts, and we need the mud guards that we made from the earlier step. And we're going to pop them onto the chassis. So that chassis is quite big, so I'll put them on and then I'll show you afterwards. So there we have step 9 completed. So that's those pieces there and there. Fenders on, we call them mud guards in the UK, and the pieces there on the end. So here, done. That's step 9 done. On to step 10. Right, so we are now on step 10. We need some more parts. We need some of these BA6s here, the 8 of those. We need 4 of the step screws, the 3x14mm ones. We need some lock nuts, 4 of those. We need the BP2s. These are the suspension stays. We need the springs, the U-bolts, and the spring seats. We need 2 because we're going to make 2 of these. Right, put them together. Oh, and nearly forgot. Going to need B7 and B10 from the B parts tree. Right, so for step 10, this is how you put the leaf spring suspension system. You pop the B10 on top here. You then pop the B7 underneath, making sure that it interlinks. There we go. Then you take the spring seat, you put that underneath that and you sort of sandwich them together. You take your U-bolt and you pop one of the U-bolts down the side there like so. You just jiggle it down the side. There we go. And then over the spring seat. Try saying that when you've had a few. Then you take the other U-bolt, jiggle it past. There we go. You take the B6s, you put those in there. There we go. So you do that 4 times. So the spring seat. And then just, there we go. Yeah. There we go. There we go. There we are. And then you tighten them down so it's nice and tight. Like so. Like so. There we are. And I tend to do them in a crisscross pattern. Okay. And then you take these little saddles, with suspension stays, step screw, pop that through the hole, jiggle it through, there, like so. Take the locking nut and then place your screwdriver on one end and your nut spinner on the other. There we are. There we go, that's one end. Just do the stops. Same again on the other side. Leaf springs holder at the end. There you go. Pop that through. The locking nut on the other end. Put it to your nut spinner, to your screwdriver. There we go. And that is it. You then have 2 of those done.